Sorry guys, I was so quiet, but yeah, I I just remembered that I was muted. Sorry. So like I was saying for the other uppers, I use those attachments and scopes. For the Twitch, the F2, I use 1.5 and flash header. My friend said that this is really good, so yeah, and vertical. Moving on. I don't really use shields, but just use pistol with muzzle. Glass, I don't really use them. Fuse. I don't really use the LMG. I use the AK-12. I use 2 times with muzzle and ankles. I don't know why I use ankle, but I just like it. But for those of you who do use the LMG, I use the. Well, I haven't really used them, so I'll rather go the 1.5 and flash. Moving on. Blitz, same thing. For Twitch, she has 3 guns, so let me go over. For the AUG A2, I used 2.5 times with flash header. You could use laser if you want. For the 5.52 carbine commando. My bad. Commando, I use 1.5 with flash header and vertical grip. For the G8A1, my favorite gun, I use reflex, flash header, and angle grip. And I used P12 with suppressor and laser. So that's what you're basically supposed to use for IQ. Moving on, Buck, my favorites. I use the C8. I use the C8 SFW. I use with the 1.5 muzzle brake, sometimes laser. But that's it. You could use compensator or flash, but I'm gonna test out either one. Right now, I'm gonna stick with muzzle brake. I use muzzle brake on his pistol. For Blackbeard, the for the MK17 CQB, I use 1.5 with muzzle brake and vertical grip. For the SR25, I use 30 times with muzzle brake and vertical grip. And of course, the Deagle, I use muzzle brake. And you're always supposed to use breach charges. If you want, you could go stun grenades if you're using this. But mostly this gun and this gun. It's up to you. For Capital, I use the Para. Is that what it's called? Yeah, that thing is Para 308. I use 1.5 with flash header and vertical grip. For the LMG, I use 2 times with flash header and vertical grip. Habana, my favorites. I use the Type 89 with 1.5 muzzle brake and ankle grip. Some people use vertical grip, but I like ankle grip because it's an easy recoil. Oh, and can't forget about the pistol. Can't forget about the pistol and the submachine gun. For the pistol, always use muzzle brake. You guys know that. And for the SMG, I use hollow and flash. For Jackal, I use the C7E with 2 times flash header and vertical grip. This gun with these attachments have 0 recoil. It's just like Frost. With Ying, I use the T95 LSW with 2 times flash header and vertical grip. Sophia, I use her a lot. I don't use the LMG, but I use the M762 with 2 times compensator and angle grip. I don't have Dokkaebi, so I'm not gonna go over her. Lying, I use the V308 with 2 times flash and vertical grip. I don't use the 417 or the SG6QB. I don't have Fanker, so I'm not gonna go over her. Maverick. Sometimes I use the AR, but the M4 I use 1.5 with flash hider and vertical grip. I used to use muzzle brake and angled, but that also works. Muzzle brake and angle, it also works. Zero recoil, it also works. With the AR, I use 30 times with the muzzle brake and vertical grip. And the 1911, I use muzzle brake. Nomad, I use both of these guns. The AK-74M, I use 1.5 times with muzzle brake. For the ARX200, I use 2 times with muzzle brake. And for the 4.4 mag semi-auto, I don't use nothing on it because you cannot put a mod. I don't have her. For Amaru, I use the G8. You guys basically know G8, but I used it 2 times. Oh wait, supposed to be using angled. And sometimes it's a super sortie, but I usually use the SMG with compensator. Jeez, I don't even have my setups ready. With flash. I mean, not flash, stun grenades. For Callie, which I don't ever use, I don't know what's good for her. I don't use this, so I don't really know like what's good for her or not. Leave it in the comment section down below what is good for her. And yeah, I don't know which one to run, but I think it's Claymore better. And that's it for defenders, because I don't really have more ops. For defenders, smoke. Sometimes I use the FMG9 with SMG11. I use 1.5 and flash hider. I don't really use shotguns, so yeah. Mute, I don't really use them. Castle, no. Pulse, yes. Not the shotgun. The UMP45, a lot of you guys use long barrel, but stop, you're doing it wrong. Compensator is the way. Compensator, hollow, and angle grip is the way to go. And just muzzle brake on every pistol. Dock. And I don't really like a laser, so you could use that if you want. And yeah, I don't use the other pistol. Same thing with Rook. Capcan, I use the 9x19 VSN with the 1.5 times with muzzle brake and angle grip. I don't really use these ops, so yeah. I'm just gonna give you guys the attachments. I use the DP27. I love this gun. Reflex. That's just basically it. Just reflex. I just love this gun. For Jaeger, my favorite op, I main him. For the 416C carbine, I use hollow, muzzle brake, and vertical grip. I used to use a long barrel. I don't know why, but I recently switched back to muzzle brake. For Bandito, I use the MP7. I use no sights and flash. I just like it that way. You guys could use a sight if you want, but I choose not to. Frost, I don't really use her, but I'm just going to give you the loadouts. I use the 9mm, wait, that's the, oh, Super 90, oh, Super 90 is actually kind of like that, but I use a 9mm C1 with 1.5 times long barrel and angled grip. I call this gun the Super Shorty. I don't know why. Moving on. Valkyrie, I use her definitely. MPX, hollow, muzzle brake, and vertical grip. Deagle, you already know. Caviar, I don't use this. I don't use the this gun, even though it has no recoil, I don't use it. I use the shotgun with hollow. And this gun. It's just, I don't know how, but it's just a good gun. Suppressor, I just don't know how. Moving on. Echo, I don't really use them that much, but yeah. 1.5 and angle grip. That's it. Same thing as Habana. Holographic and flash. Mirror. Use the 45 ACP. 1.5 flash and vertical grip. Legion, I use the SD, no, not the SD, T5 SMG. Holographic and compensator. You could use the 1.5 times scope, it's up to you. For Ella, I use the Evo 3A1 with holographic. That was supposed to be muzzle brake and vertical grip. I don't use the shotgun. The shotgun, I just don't like it. I know it's like really good, but I don't want to be like that. The KA1 hollow compensator and angle grip for original. Moving on, Maestro. I use the I don't know how you pronounce that. The 5.56 holographic, flash header, vertical, sometimes laser. Alibi, I use the MX4 Storm with red dots, flash header, and vertical grip. I don't use Clash. Cade, I use the AUG, whatever. I'm just gonna call it AUG A3, the 1.5 times compensator and vertical grip. For Mozzie, one of my favorites. I use both of the guns. For the P10, I use 1.5 extended barrel, long barrel, and angled grip. For the Commando 9, I use hollow, muzzle brake, and angle grip. And for Warden, I don't really use Warden, but if you do, same thing as Valkyrie. Goyo, same thing as Mirror. Omai, same thing as IQ. Orc, same thing as Legion. Moosey, same thing. Wait, muzzle brake, right? Yes, muzzle brake and angle grip. Roni, same thing. And that's it. That is all my ops. I know, I just don't even have these ops. I'm planning on buying Wamai or Malusi. It depends. Or maybe buy Fanka. You know what? Yes. I'm gonna be buying I don't know. No, I'm gonna buy Wamai. So yeah. Though these are all of my attachments for Rainbow Six Siege 2021. This video, well, it's part of the other video. That was my bad. I stopped streaming for a second. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, smash the like button and subscribe, and leave a comment down below on which operator you think is the best attachment, and leave in the comment section down below what is the best setup for Kali. And I'll see you guys in the next video.